Let's jump back into Beowulf. What do we see? After Grendel is defeated, we get to meet Grendel's mother. And a lot of people like to make jokes about Grendel being a mama's boy, which is okay. We'll allow it. So let's take a look. Grendel's mother, monstrous Hellbride, brooded on her wrongs. She had been forced down into fearful waters, the cold depths. After Cain had killed his father's son, felled his own brother with the sword. Banished an outlaw, marked by having murdered, he moved into the wilds, shunning company and joy. And from Cain there sprang misbegotten spirits, among them Grendel. It's important to remember that we're in the oral tradition with Beowulf here. That, again, this is an example of a myth. And what do myths do? They do lots of things, but one of the things that myths do is they explain the unexplainable. Myths explain the unexplainable. What question is being addressed here? That's right. Where does evil come from? And we can see here, this is the clear result, the insertion of Christianity into a pagan text, right? So the story of Cain and Abel, and Cain was banished after having killed his brother. And what happens is that evil just pops out of Cain, and that's where Grendel and Grendel's mother came from. So evil begets evil, which is a really interesting idea. It's kind of like good results in good, evil results in evil. So here we have our second monster. What could this monster represent? If we reflect upon Grendel, Grendel could reflect jealousy, that everyone else has community and a place to gather, right? What do we see here? But now his mother had sallied forth on a savage journey, grief-racked and ravenous, desperate for what? Revenge. So the motivations for the two different monsters that we've seen so far are different. Grendel's mother, of course, is understandable. You're a monster and your son's a monster and monster son is killed, then you're going to want to get out there and get revenge. So jumping ahead a little bit, and again, remember here's the line numbers for reference here. A few miles from here, okay, so picking up here, a frost-stiffened wood waits and keeps watch above a mere. The overhanging bank is a maze of tree roots mirrored in its surface. At night there, something uncanny happens. The water burns. In the mere bottom has never been sounded by the sons of men. On its bank, the heather stepper halts. Did y'all catch that? Yeah, it's another canning. So we're seeing lots of kennings in here. And this is part of the tale. This is clearly a supernatural aspect here, right? Some magical qualities to where Grendel's mother lives. She lives under the water. Wow. Of course, of note, the audience of this time, they wouldn't have believed that it's possible for someone to live and breathe underwater. That just would have been part of the story that we all get pulled into the adventure. Just like when you watch a science fiction movie like Star Wars, right? You know it's not real, but you just want to be transported into that adventure and keep up. So now, what happens next? Beowulf, right? So they're looking around and wondering what to do. This is kind of a scary place. Why, sir, do not grieve. It is always better to avenge dear ones than to indulge in mourning. Wait a second. This shows clear conflict between the pagan nature of this story versus the Christian author, right? Yeah. Christians, right? Christianity, we're not taught to avenge others, taught to forgive. But this is clearly a part here of the pagan text that wasn't removed when it was pulled and written down. So now, what does Beowulf do next? He takes another journey of the hero. When he descends underwater, somehow he's able to, to breathe the water, hold his breath a really long time. He undertakes, right, and then he leaves the known world for the unknown, experiences trials and tribulations, just like we've been seeing. And in the next video, we will dig a little bit deeper into the battle between Beowulf and Grendel's mother.